Hey everyone, Mike Wolf here. Thanks for tuning in. We're talking about the top 10 mistakes Canadians make when they invest in U.S. real estate. And one of the biggest concerns that I have when I see what people are doing when they make their purchases is quite often I'm seeing Canadians buying in their personal name. Now, it's not always a mistake, but quite often it is. If you're buying a house clear title in the United States and you have a lot of assets, you're putting yourself potentially in danger. And also you're probably going to be paying way more tax than you need to. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit of detail here. So firstly, we're going to talk about the liability side of things. So when you buy a piece of property in your own name, if somebody were to sue you, let's say one of your tenants were to fall down the stairs or slip on the walk or whatever were to happen, basically, if this is and everything you own is in here, is under this umbrella. You have your personal residence here in Canada, you have your cars, you have maybe some other properties as well in Canada and or the US, or you own any assets worldwide. These things all become in danger of being tied up in a lawsuit. So if somebody wants to sue you, let's say they're suing you for $5 million. Well, there's probably not going to be enough equity in that first property that they fall in, so they're going to go to a lawyer. The first thing the lawyer is going to do is try to find out what you own, what assets you have, and what they can go after. So what they're going to do is they're going to follow the trail. If it's all in your personal name, it's very easy to do, of course. It's very simple. So what happens is the person who gets injured is going to go to their lawyer. The lawyer is basically going to see that you have a lot of assets. They're going to say, sure, let's sue this person. I get 25% of whatever we get, and you don't have to pay me now. We'll deal with it when we get money from this person. So look at a different scenario where, let's say this way, you had a company that owned, let's say, just the one property or just a minimal amount of assets. And so this is an XYZ company here, and it's got one house in it. This is our very ugly, tilted house. But if that's all it has, you don't own this house. Your company owns the house. So the lawyer would go after, he'd find out it's a company that owns the house. You'd see what the company owns. See that this is all they have. If you're doing things right, and I can teach you how to do this, you're also going to put, if you're paying cash for the house, you're also going to put a lien against it. There's different ways to do that. Or you're going to have some form of lien registered against it. So it looks like there's no equity. But now it's a much different scenario. When this person who wants to sue you goes to the lawyer says, oh, well, there's no equity, I don't see anything else that they own. The lawyer knows the chance of getting any money from you is slim to none. You're only a target if people think they have something to get from you. So the lawyer is going to say, instead of saying, hey, we'll sue this person, I'll take 25% of whatever we get, it's going to be a whole different scenario. The lawyer is probably going to say something to the effect of, okay, well, we'll try and sue him, but I need a $10,000 retainer from you first. And chances are, if this person is going to the trouble of suing you, pretty good chance that may be how they earn their money, is by suing people. So that is going to get stopped right in its tracks if they don't think there's any money to get from you. And also if the lawyer is not willing to take it on at no charge. So it makes a really big difference. Now, if you don't have a whole lot of assets and you're buying this one property, and maybe you have a house in Canada but there's a mortgage on it, once again, you might not be that big a target, so you might not necessarily have to go get a corporation. Bottom line, it's not one size fits all. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute here. The second issue with buying your own name is taxation. And once again, sometimes if you're only buying one property, there's not going to be a lot of revenue. Maybe you have a lot of expenses you can write off against the revenue coming in to bring it down to zero. Buying your personal name might or might not be an error. It just depends on a number of different factors. And really what you need to do is find out what the best scenario is for you, because everybody's different. But for a lot of people, I see them buying in their personal names. They don't know that there's other options out there. So it's very important to examine what those options are, how they apply to you, if at all. And really, you can reduce your taxes quite a bit if you need to by having a corporation. A corporation typically is going to pay less tax than an individual does. That's in the US and Canada as well. So these are all things you want to look into. In most cases, I do know of a lot of people that own a lot of properties in their personal name, and in most cases, that's a huge mistake. Also in the States, there's an estate tax that may or may not apply to you, so you need to look into that as well. So I can give you a lot more details on all these issues I can't go into this all in this video because obviously that would take all day. There's a whole lot of different scenarios for different people, but one thing you have to do is just be aware that there's other options besides buying in your own name, and it will give you a lot of protection, could save you a lot of money. It's too late to set up a corporation. Once somebody starts to sue you, you can't just transfer it. It's not going to stop anything. So it's very important to do things properly up front. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to educate you and teach you the different possibilities and different things that you might want to look at and get you set up and structured properly. So thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.